Hey friends, welcome back to TalkMate English. I'm Adam, and today I want to share with you something that will help you improve your English fluency in a natural and practical way. We are going to talk about my daily routine in English. By listening, repeating, and practicing with me, you will learn the right vocabulary, sentence patterns, and expressions that you can use in your own life every single day. This lesson is designed to be slow, clear, and full of useful examples so that you can listen carefully, shadow my speech, and build confidence step by step. So, let's begin. Every day starts in the morning. My alarm clock rings at around 7 o'clock, and the very first thing I do is open my eyes slowly and stretch my arms. You can imagine me saying, I wake up at 7 in the morning. Now repeat after me slowly. I wake up at 7 in the morning. Very good. If you want to change the time, you can also say, I wake up at 6:30, or I wake up at 8 o'clock. You can practice with different times to make this phrase useful for your own life. After waking up, I usually get out of bed and go to the bathroom. A simple sentence you can use is, I get out of bed and go to the bathroom. Now let's practice. Repeat with me slowly. I get out of bed and go to the bathroom. Excellent. Sometimes learners forget to use the phrase get out of bed and instead say stand up from the bed, which doesn't sound natural. So always remember to say, I get out of bed. This is a small detail, but it makes your English sound smoother and more natural. When I am in the bathroom, I usually brush my teeth and wash my face. I can say, I brush my teeth and wash my face every morning. Now try it with me. I brush my teeth and wash my face every morning. Perfect. You can also expand by saying, I brush my teeth with toothpaste, or I wash my face with cold water. Try repeating these slowly with me. I brush my teeth with toothpaste. I wash my face with cold water. These small additions make your daily routine sound more detailed and natural. After I finish in the bathroom, I usually go to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. I can say, I make breakfast at home every day. Repeat slowly. I make breakfast at home every day. You might also say, I prepare eggs for breakfast. Or, I eat bread and butter for breakfast. Or, I drink a cup of tea or coffee. Let's practice together. I prepare eggs for breakfast. I eat bread and butter for breakfast. I drink a cup of tea in the morning. Excellent work. These are simple sentences, but they are sentences you will actually use in your life, which makes them powerful. Now let's imagine a small role play together. I will ask you a question, and you will answer as if you are describing your own morning. I ask you, what time do you wake up? Your answer could be, I wake up at 7 o'clock. Very good. Let's try another one. I ask, what do you usually eat for breakfast? You can say, I usually eat bread and eggs for breakfast. Or you can say, I usually eat fruit in the morning. Try answering these with your own ideas as you listen and repeat. After breakfast, my next step is usually to take a shower and get dressed. I can say, I take a shower and get dressed before I leave the house. Repeat after me. I take a shower and get dressed before I leave the house. You might also add, I wear comfortable clothes for work, or I wear a shirt and trousers, depending on your own routine. Let's practice those. I wear comfortable clothes for work. I wear a shirt and trousers. Great job. Try creating your own variations to make the practice personal and effective. When I am ready, I leave the house and go to work. The basic sentence is, I go to work at 9 o'clock. Repeat slowly with me, I go to work at 9 o'clock. If you don't go to work, you might go to school. So you can say, I go to school at 8:30. Let's practice. I go to school at 8:30. Very nice. You can also add details like, I go to work by bus, or I go to work by car, or I walk to school. Repeat slowly. I go to work by bus. I go to work by car. I walk to school. Excellent practice. Now let's do a small speaking exercise together. I will give you half a sentence and you complete it in your mind or by speaking aloud. Listen carefully. I wake up at... You should complete it with your own time. For example, I wake up at 7:30. Another one. I eat... You can say, I eat bread and eggs. One more. I go to work by... You can complete with bus or car or train. This type of exercise helps you to think quickly in English without translating. Practice it with me now. When I arrive at work, I usually greet my colleagues and start my tasks for the day. A simple sentence is, I arrive at work and greet my colleagues. Repeat slowly. I arrive at work and greet my colleagues. Another sentence is, I start working at 9:30 in the morning. Repeat with me. I start working at 9:30 in the morning. Wonderful. These are very useful because in daily life, people often ask, what time do you start work? Or, what time do you finish work? So let's practice these questions and answers together. I ask, what time do you start work? You answer, I start work at 9:30 in the morning. Excellent. Another question, what time do you finish work? You can answer, I finish work at 5 in the evening. Great practice. During the morning hours, I usually spend my time working on different tasks. I might say I check my emails, or I attend a meeting, or I write reports. Repeat slowly with me. I check my emails. I attend a meeting. I write reports. Very good. These are common workplace expressions. Even if you are not working in an office, you can still adapt these phrases to your own daily life. For example, students might say, I attend classes or I write notes. Let's practice that. I attend classes. I write notes. Excellent practice. Around midday, it is time for lunch. I can say, I usually eat lunch at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Repeat slowly. I usually eat lunch at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You can add details like, I eat lunch with my colleagues, or I eat lunch alone, or I eat rice and chicken for lunch. Let's practice. I eat lunch with my colleagues. I eat lunch alone. I eat rice and chicken for lunch. Perfect. Now let's do another speaking exercise together. I will ask you, what do you usually eat for lunch? Answer with your own food choice. For example, I usually eat rice and vegetables for lunch. Wonderful. After lunch, I return to work and continue with my tasks. I can say, I continue working after lunch, or I attend another meeting, or I talk with my colleagues about projects. Repeat after me slowly. I continue working after lunch. I attend another meeting. I talk with my colleagues about projects. Excellent work. In the afternoon, my routine continues with more tasks and responsibilities. I usually say I work on my computer, or I talk with clients, or I prepare documents. Let's repeat these together slowly. I work on my computer. I talk with clients. I prepare documents. Very good. These are everyday sentences you can use to describe your own activities. If you are a student, you might say, I study English in the afternoon, or I do my homework after lunch. Let's practice those too. I study English in the afternoon. I do my homework after lunch. Excellent practice. Sometimes in the afternoon I feel a little tired, so I like to drink a cup of tea or coffee to get more energy. I can say, I drink a cup of tea in the afternoon, or I drink coffee when I feel tired. Repeat slowly with me. I drink a cup of tea in the afternoon. I drink coffee when I feel tired. Great. You might also practice saying, I take a short break, or I relax for a few minutes. Repeat after me. I take a short break. I relax for a few minutes. These are all useful ways to describe small actions in your daily routine. Let's do a speaking exercise now. I will ask you some questions, and you can answer with your own words. I ask, what do you usually do in the afternoon? You might say, I usually work on my computer, or I usually study English, or I usually take a nap. Very good. Another question. Do you drink tea or coffee in the afternoon? You can answer, yes, I drink tea in the afternoon, or no, I don't drink coffee, I drink juice. Wonderful. Practicing with these small questions will help you feel ready for real conversations in English. As the afternoon goes on, I usually prepare to finish my work. A useful sentence is, I finish my work at 5 o'clock in the evening. Repeat slowly. I finish my work at 5 o'clock in the evening. You can also say, I leave the office at 5:30, or I stop studying at 4 o'clock. Let's practice. I leave the office at 5:30. I stop studying at 4 o'clock. Excellent. These are simple patterns, but they are very natural in daily conversations. After finishing work, I usually travel back home. I can say, I go home after work, or I travel home by bus, or I drive home by car. Repeat slowly. I go home after work. I travel home by bus. I drive home by car. Great practice. If you prefer walking, you can also say, I walk home from school or I walk home from work. Repeat with me. I walk home from school. I walk home from work. Wonderful. These sentences describe a very common part of life, so it's important to practice them often. When I arrive home in the evening, I usually like to relax for a little while. I might say, I relax at home after work, or I sit on the sofa and rest, or I read a book in the evening. Repeat slowly with me. I relax at home after work. I sit on the sofa and rest. I read a book in the evening. Perfect. These are very natural ways to talk about unwinding after a busy day. Now let's do another role play practice. I will ask you, what do you do after work? You can answer, I go home and relax, or I go home and cook dinner, or I go home and watch television. Very good. Another question. Do you read books in the evening? You can say, yes, I read books in the evening, or no, I usually watch movies in the evening. Excellent practice. Dinner time is another important part of the daily routine. I usually say, I have dinner at 7 o'clock in the evening. Repeat slowly with me. I have dinner at 7 o'clock in the evening. You can also say, I eat dinner with my family, or I eat rice and chicken for dinner, or I eat pasta in the evening. Repeat with me. I eat dinner with my family. I eat rice and chicken for dinner. I eat pasta in the evening. Wonderful. Try using your own favorite dinner foods to make the sentences personal. For example, I eat vegetables and fish for dinner, or I eat soup for dinner. Practice these slowly to build confidence. After dinner, I often like to spend time with my family or do some relaxing activities. I can say, I spend time with my family in the evening, or I watch television after dinner, or I listen to music at night. Repeat slowly. I spend time with my family in the evening. I watch television after dinner. I listen to music at night. Excellent practice. These are everyday expressions that you can use with friends or in conversations to describe your habits. Sometimes I also like to exercise in the evening. A useful sentence is, I exercise for 30 minutes in the evening. Repeat with me. I exercise for 30 minutes in the evening. You can also say, I go for a walk after dinner, or I go to the gym at night. Let's practice together. I go for a walk after dinner. I go to the gym at night. Great job. Talking about exercise is a common topic, and these phrases will help you sound more fluent. Let's do a quick question practice. I ask you, do you exercise in the evening? You can answer, yes, I exercise for 30 minutes in the evening. Or, no, I don't exercise, I usually relax at home. Very good. Another question, what do you usually do after dinner? You can answer, I usually watch television after dinner, or I usually read a book after dinner. Excellent practice. Before going to bed, I usually prepare myself by doing small activities like brushing my teeth, washing my face, or reading. A natural sentence is, I brush my teeth before going to bed. Repeat slowly with me. I brush my teeth before going to bed. Another one is, I wash my face before sleeping. Or, I read a book before sleeping. Let's practice. I wash my face before sleeping. I read a book before sleeping. Great job. These sentences are very useful when you describe your night routine. Finally, I go to bed and sleep. The most common sentence is, I go to bed at 10 o'clock at night. Repeat slowly. I go to bed at 10 o'clock at night. You can also say, I go to sleep at 10:30, or I usually sleep at 11 o'clock. Repeat with me. I go to sleep at 10:30. I usually sleep at 11 o'clock. Excellent practice. These are very simple but powerful sentences that everyone can use when talking about daily routines. Now let's put it all together with a long practice paragraph. I will say it slowly and you can shadow me by repeating as much as possible. Listen carefully. I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I brush my teeth and wash my face. I eat breakfast at home. I go to work at 9 o'clock. I work until 5 in the evening. I go home and relax. I have dinner at 7 o'clock. I spend time with my family. I brush my teeth before bed. I go to sleep at 10:30 at night. Very good. This kind of long paragraph practice helps you build fluency, rhythm, and confidence when speaking. One of the most powerful ways to improve your English is to describe your routine in many different ways. You already know the basic pattern, but now we will add more detail. For example, instead of only saying, I wake up at 7 o'clock, you can say, I usually wake up at 7 o'clock on weekdays, but I wake up later on weekends. Repeat slowly with me. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock on weekdays, but I wake up later on weekends. Excellent. This sentence is longer, more natural, and more interesting. Let's practice a few more variations. Instead of, I brush my teeth in the morning, you can say, I brush my teeth right after waking up, or I brush my teeth before breakfast. Repeat with me. I brush my teeth right after waking up. I brush my teeth before breakfast. Very good. Another variation. I wash my face with cold water to feel fresh in the morning. Repeat slowly. I wash my face with cold water to feel fresh in the morning. These small details make your English sound more advanced and fluent. Now let's expand breakfast. Instead of only saying, I eat breakfast, try saying, I eat a light breakfast of bread and tea, or I eat a big breakfast of eggs, fruit, and milk, or I usually skip breakfast when I am busy. Let's repeat. I eat a light breakfast of bread and tea. I eat a big breakfast of eggs, fruit, and milk. I usually skip breakfast when I am busy. Wonderful practice. Now try answering this question. What do you usually eat for breakfast? Say your own answer out loud. Very good. Keep practicing until it feels natural. Moving on, instead of only saying, I go to work, you can expand to, I go to work by bus every morning, or I drive to work because it is faster, or I walk to work because I live near the office. Repeat with me slowly. I go to work by bus every morning. I drive to work because it is faster. I walk to work because I live near the office. Excellent. You can also say, I listen to music while I go to work, or I read a book on the bus while traveling to school. Repeat after me. I listen to music while I go to work. I read a book on the bus while traveling to school. These longer sentences are very natural and useful in conversations. Now let's practice a little dialogue together. I will play both sides of the conversation, and you can repeat after me. Listen carefully. Good morning. What time do you wake up? I usually wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh, really? What do you eat for breakfast? I usually eat eggs and bread for breakfast. How do you go to work? I go to work by bus every day. That sounds nice. What time do you finish work? I finish work at 5 o'clock in the evening. Excellent practice. Now try repeating the whole dialogue with me slowly. This exercise will help you connect sentences and sound natural in real conversations. Let's go deeper into the afternoon part of the routine. Instead of only saying, I work in the afternoon, you can say, I usually work on my computer in the afternoon, or I study English after lunch, or I sometimes take a short nap in the afternoon when I feel tired. Repeat slowly with me. I usually work on my computer in the afternoon. I study English after lunch. I sometimes take a short nap in the afternoon when I feel tired. Wonderful. Now answer this question aloud. What do you usually do in the afternoon? Give your own answer. Excellent. Dinner time can also be expanded with details. Instead of only saying, I have dinner at 7 o'clock, try saying, I usually cook dinner with my family at 7 o'clock, or I order food from a restaurant when I don't want to cook, or I sometimes eat dinner late if I am busy. Repeat slowly with me. I usually cook dinner with my family at 7 o'clock. I order food from a restaurant when I don't want to cook. I sometimes eat dinner late if I am busy. Very good. Now let's practice with a question. I ask, do you cook dinner at home or eat outside? Answer with your own words. For example, I cook dinner at home, or I eat outside at a restaurant. Excellent practice. Now let's build a longer paragraph again for fluency training. Listen carefully and repeat with me. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning on weekdays. I brush my teeth before breakfast and wash my face with cold water. I eat a light breakfast of bread and tea, but sometimes I eat eggs and fruit. I go to work by bus and I listen to music while traveling. I work on my computer in the afternoon and sometimes take a short nap when I feel tired. I usually cook dinner with my family at 7 o'clock in the evening. After dinner, I relax, watch television, or read a book. I go to bed at 10:30 at night. Excellent practice. Reading long paragraphs like this helps you feel the rhythm of English and improve your memory for common patterns. Let's add some more practice exercises now. I will give you the beginning of a sentence, and you finish it with your own idea. For example, I say, I wake up at... You can finish, I wake up at 6:30 in the morning. Another one, I eat... You might finish with, I eat rice and chicken for dinner. Another one, I go to work by... You can finish with, I go to work by train. Another one, I go to bed at... You might finish with, I go to bed at 11 o'clock at night. This exercise is powerful because it forces you to think quickly in English. Practice it several times with your own sentences. Now let's add some vocabulary for feelings during the day. You can say, I feel sleepy in the morning, or I feel hungry before lunch. or I feel tired in the evening, or I feel happy when I spend time with my family. Repeat slowly. I feel sleepy in the morning. I feel hungry before lunch. I feel tired in the evening. I feel happy when I spend time with my family. Wonderful practice. These simple feeling expressions make your daily routine sound more natural and personal. Sometimes daily routines change depending on the day. For example, on weekends you might say, I wake up late on Saturdays, or I go shopping on Sundays, or I meet my friends at the park on the weekend. Repeat with me. I wake up late on Saturdays. I go shopping on Sundays. I meet my friends at the park on the weekend. Very good. Try answering this question aloud. What do you usually do on weekends? Say your own answer. Excellent practice. Now let's combine everything into a full story of one day. Listen carefully and shadow along. I wake up at 7 o'clock on weekdays and stretch my arms. I brush my teeth and wash my face before breakfast. I usually eat bread and tea, but sometimes I eat eggs and fruit. I go to work by bus and listen to music during the ride. I start working at 9 o'clock and check my emails in the morning. I attend meetings and write reports. At 1 o'clock, I eat lunch with my colleagues. In the afternoon, I continue working on my computer. Sometimes I take a short nap when I feel tired. I finish work at 5 o'clock and travel home by bus. In the evening, I cook dinner with my family at 7 o'clock. After dinner, I spend time with my family, watch television, or read a book. At 10:30, I brush my teeth, wash my face, and go to bed. Wonderful practice. Try repeating that again slowly in your own words. Daily routines are not only about actions, but also about describing when, how, and why we do those actions. For example, instead of just saying, I eat lunch, you can make it more interesting by saying, I usually eat lunch at 1 o'clock with my colleagues because it is our break time. Repeat slowly with me. I usually eat lunch at 1 o'clock with my colleagues because it is our break time. Excellent. Adding words like usually, sometimes, and because makes your English more natural and detailed. Let's add some time expressions to daily routines. You can say, in the morning I drink tea, or in the afternoon I study English, or in the evening I watch television, or at night I go to bed early. Repeat slowly. In the morning I drink tea. In the afternoon I study English. In the evening I watch television. At night I go to bed early. Great job! Using these time expressions helps you structure your sentences more clearly when describing your day. Now let's practice with a question exercise. I will ask you a question and you will answer. Ready? What do you do in the morning? You might say, in the morning I wake up, brush my teeth, and eat breakfast. Good. Another question. What do you do in the afternoon? You can answer, in the afternoon I usually study English and take a short nap. Very good. One more. What do you do in the evening? You might answer, in the evening I eat dinner with my family and watch television. Excellent practice. Let's now expand the vocabulary of routine with frequency adverbs. Words like always, usually, often, sometimes, and never make your sentences sound richer. For example, I always brush my teeth in the morning. I usually drink coffee after breakfast. I often go for a walk in the evening. I sometimes read a book before bed. I never sleep late on weekdays. Repeat each one slowly with me. I always brush my teeth in the morning. I usually drink coffee after breakfast. I often go for a walk in the evening. I sometimes read a book before bed. I never sleep late on weekdays. Excellent work. Now try making your own sentences using these adverbs to describe your daily habits. Let's build a longer example together using these adverbs. Listen carefully. I always wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I usually eat a small breakfast of bread and tea. I often walk to work when the weather is nice. I sometimes eat lunch at a restaurant near the office. I never go to bed late on weekdays because I need to wake up early. Excellent. Now repeat this whole paragraph slowly with me. This will help you improve your fluency step by step. Now let's try a role-play conversation that uses adverbs of frequency. I will say both parts, and you can shadow along. Do you always wake up at 7? Yes, I usually wake up at 7, but sometimes I wake up at 8 on weekends. Do you often eat breakfast at home? Yes, I often eat breakfast at home, but sometimes I eat outside. Do you ever go for a walk in the evening? Yes, I often go for a walk in the evening when the weather is good. Excellent practice. Try repeating this conversation slowly, and then try answering with your own daily habits. Now let's focus on connecting actions with sequence words like first, then, after that, and finally. For example, you can say, first, I wake up at 7. Then I brush my teeth and wash my face. After that, I eat breakfast. Finally, I go to work at 9 o'clock. Repeat slowly with me. First, I wake up at 7. Then I brush my teeth and wash my face. After that, I eat breakfast. Finally, I go to work at 9 o'clock. Wonderful. These connecting words make your daily routine sound like a story instead of just a list of actions. Let's practice another sequence example. First, I eat lunch at 1 o'clock. Then I continue working on my computer. After that, I take a short break. Finally, I finish work at 5 o'clock and go home. Repeat slowly with me. First, I eat lunch at 1 o'clock. Then I continue working on my computer. After that, I take a short break. Finally, I finish work at 5 o'clock and go home. Very good. Try creating your own sequence sentences for your personal daily routine. Here's another role-play practice with sequence words. What is your morning routine? First, I wake up at 7. Then I brush my teeth and wash my face. After that, I eat breakfast. Finally, I leave for work. Excellent practice. These simple structures help you speak more fluently and logically. Now let's add the language of preferences to your daily routine. For example, you can say, I like to drink tea in the morning, or I prefer coffee instead of tea, or I enjoy reading a book in the evening, or I don't like going to bed late. Repeat slowly with me. I like to drink tea in the morning. I prefer coffee instead of tea. I enjoy reading a book in the evening. I don't like going to bed late. Great work. Preferences are very natural topics in daily conversations. Let's practice with a few questions and answers. I ask you, do you like coffee or tea in the morning? You can answer, I like tea in the morning, or I prefer coffee in the morning. Another question. Do you enjoy reading books in the evening? You can answer, yes, I enjoy reading books, or no, I prefer watching movies. Excellent practice. These are very common and simple conversations that will help you sound confident in English. Now let's try to create a full daily routine paragraph with preferences, adverbs of frequency, and sequence words. Listen carefully. First, I usually wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Then I brush my teeth and wash my face. After that, I eat breakfast. I prefer tea instead of coffee in the morning. I often go to work by bus and listen to music during the ride. I usually have lunch at 1 o'clock with my colleagues, but sometimes I eat alone. In the evening, I like to watch television with my family, and I sometimes read a book before bed. Finally, I go to sleep at 10:30 because I never like to sleep late on weekdays. Wonderful. Now repeat this full paragraph with me slowly. Practicing long connected sentences will improve your speaking flow and memory of patterns. Let's do another speaking exercise where I give you a word and you create a sentence with it. The word is always. Your sentence could be, I always brush my teeth in the morning. The word is prefer. You could say, I prefer coffee to tea. The word is after that. You can say, I eat breakfast, and after that I go to work. The word is never. You might say, I never sleep late on weekdays. This exercise is simple but powerful. It helps you think quickly in English without translating from your native language. Finally, let's create a mini dialogue for practice. Listen carefully. What time do you usually wake up? I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. What do you do after that? After that, I brush my teeth and eat breakfast. Do you prefer tea or coffee? I prefer tea in the morning. Do you ever go to bed late? No, I never go to bed late on weekdays. Excellent. Repeat this conversation with me slowly and clearly. Practicing small dialogues like this will prepare you for real-life English conversations. So far, we have talked a lot about my regular weekday routine. But life is not only about weekdays. We also have weekends, free time, and special activities that are part of our daily life. Let's explore those so you can describe your whole life in English, not just your work or school days. On weekends, my routine is usually different. I can say, I wake up later on weekends, or I sleep longer on Saturdays because I don't have to work, or I wake up at 9 o'clock on Sundays. Repeat slowly with me. I wake up later on weekends. I sleep longer on Saturdays because I don't have to work. I wake up at 9 o'clock on Sundays. Excellent. These are very useful sentences for describing your weekend life. Now let's practice with food and meals on weekends. I can say, I usually eat breakfast later on weekends, or I sometimes go out for brunch with my friends, or I cook pancakes on Sundays with my family. Repeat with me. I usually eat breakfast later on weekends. I sometimes go out for brunch with my friends. I cook pancakes on Sundays with my family. Wonderful. These sentences give more color and detail to your daily routine. Weekends are also a good time for hobbies. I might say, I like to play football on Saturday afternoons, or I enjoy reading books on Sundays, or I spend time with my friends at the park on weekends. Repeat slowly with me. I like to play football on Saturday afternoons. I enjoy reading books on Sundays. I spend time with my friends at the park on weekends. Great work. Try answering this question now. What do you usually do on weekends? Give your own answer aloud and make it personal. Excellent. Sometimes weekends are for shopping or errands. I can say, I go shopping on Saturday morning, or I go to the supermarket with my family, or I buy clothes at the mall on weekends. Repeat with me. I go shopping on Saturday morning. I go to the supermarket with my family. I buy clothes at the mall on weekends. Perfect practice. You can also expand with details. I buy vegetables and fruit at the market, or I buy new shoes at the mall on Saturday. Repeat slowly. I buy vegetables and fruit at the market. I buy new shoes at the mall on Saturday. Excellent. Now let's do a conversation role play about weekends. Listen carefully. What do you usually do on Saturdays? I usually go shopping in the morning and spend time with my family in the afternoon. Do you ever go out with friends on weekends? Yes, I sometimes go out with friends in the evening. Do you like waking up early on Sundays? No, I usually wake up late on Sundays. Great practice. Repeat the whole dialogue with me slowly, and then try answering with your own weekend habits. Let's also include daily exercise and health in routines. I can say, I go for a walk every morning to stay healthy, or I go jogging in the park after work, or I exercise at the gym 3 times a week. Repeat with me. I go for a walk every morning to stay healthy. I go jogging in the park after work. I exercise at the gym 3 times a week. Excellent. Now answer this question aloud. How often do you exercise? You can say, I exercise every day, or I exercise 3 times a week, or I don't exercise very often. Very good. Another important part of daily routine is free time in the evenings. I can say, I watch movies on Friday nights, or I listen to music before going to bed, or I talk to my friends on the phone in the evening. Repeat with me slowly. I watch movies on Friday nights. I listen to music before going to bed. I talk to my friends on the phone in the evening. Excellent practice. These sentences are very useful in everyday conversations when people ask what you like to do in your free time. Now, let's add some travel-related routines. I can say, I take the bus to work every day, or I ride my bicycle to school, or I walk to the office when the weather is good. Repeat slowly with me. I take the bus to work every day. I ride my bicycle to school. I walk to the office when the weather is good. Very good. You can also say, I listen to podcasts while I travel, or I read books on the train, or I talk to my friends during the bus ride. Repeat slowly. I listen to podcasts while I travel. I read books on the train. I talk to my friends during the bus ride. Excellent. Let's create a long practice paragraph with weekend and free time activities. Listen carefully and shadow with me. On weekends, I usually wake up later than on weekdays. I sometimes go shopping at the supermarket on Saturday mornings. In the afternoon, I like to play football with my friends, and in the evening, I sometimes watch movies with my family. On Sundays, I wake up late, eat a special breakfast, and spend time reading books or relaxing at home. I sometimes go to the park with my family, and I enjoy listening to music in the evening before going to bed. Excellent. Try repeating that again slowly with your own changes to make it personal. Now let's practice a short Q&A session for fluency. I will ask you and you answer out loud. Ready? What time do you usually wake up on weekends? Very good. What do you usually eat for breakfast on Sundays? Excellent. Do you go shopping on weekends? Nice. What do you like to do in the evening on weekends? Great. Practicing simple questions and answers like this will prepare you for real conversations with native speakers. Let's go even deeper by practicing transitions between weekday and weekend. For example, on weekdays I wake up at 7, but on weekends I wake up at 9. Repeat slowly. On weekdays I wake up at 7, but on weekends I wake up at 9. Another example. On weekdays I go to work at 9 o'clock, but on weekends I stay home and relax. Repeat slowly. On weekdays I go to work at 9 o'clock, but on weekends I stay home and relax. Very good. Another one. On weekdays I eat lunch quickly at the office, but on weekends I eat lunch slowly at home with my family. Repeat with me. On weekdays I eat lunch quickly at the office, but on weekends I eat lunch slowly at home with my family. Excellent. Now, let's create a conversation that shows the difference between weekdays and weekends. Listen carefully. What do you usually do on weekdays? On weekdays, I wake up at 7, go to work at 9, and finish at 5 in the evening. What about weekends? On weekends, I wake up later, go shopping, and spend time with my family. Do you prefer weekdays or weekends? I prefer weekends because I can relax and enjoy my free time. Excellent. Repeat this dialogue with me slowly, and then try giving your own answers to make it personal. Finally, let's create a full daily routine story with weekday and weekend examples. Listen carefully and shadow with me. On weekdays, I wake up at 7 o'clock, brush my teeth, wash my face, and eat breakfast. I go to work at 9, have lunch at 1, and finish work at 5. In the evenings, I eat dinner, spend time with my family, and go to bed at 10:30. On weekends, my routine is different. I wake up later, sometimes at 9 o'clock. I go shopping in the morning, play football with my friends, and watch movies in the evening. I enjoy weekends because I can relax, read books, and spend more time with my family. Wonderful. This kind of practice helps you build longer, natural paragraphs in English that sound like real conversations. Even though daily routines can feel ordinary, talking about them in English can actually be one of the best ways to build fluency. Why? Because you already know these actions in your real life. So when you learn how to describe them in English, you are learning words and sentences that you can use immediately every single day. That is why practicing your daily routine in English is so powerful. Let's go deeper into the evening routine. After dinner, I sometimes like to go for a short walk. I can say, I go for a walk in the evening after dinner, or I take a walk around my neighborhood to relax, or I sometimes walk in the park when the weather is nice. Repeat slowly with me. I go for a walk in the evening after dinner. I take a walk around my neighborhood to relax. I sometimes walk in the park when the weather is nice. Very good. Now answer this question aloud. Do you go for walks in the evening? Say your own answer and make it personal. Excellent. Evenings are also a good time to describe technology use. I can say, I watch television for 1 hour in the evening, or I watch a movie before going to bed, or I use my phone to check messages at night, or I spend time on social media before sleeping. Repeat with me slowly. I watch television for 1 hour in the evening. I watch a movie before going to bed. I use my phone to check messages at night. I spend time on social media before sleeping. Wonderful practice. These are real modern activities that almost everyone does, so you can easily use them in real conversations. Let's also practice a few sentences with hobbies at night. I can say, I enjoy playing the guitar in the evening, or I like painting at night when it is quiet, or I write in my journal before going to bed, or I study English in the evening when I have free time. Repeat with me slowly. I enjoy playing the guitar in the evening. I like painting at night when it is quiet. I write in my journal before going to bed. I study English in the evening when I have free time. Excellent work. These sentences show how you can add hobbies to your daily routine descriptions. Now let's do a role-play conversation about evening habits. Listen carefully. What do you usually do after dinner? I usually spend time with my family or watch television. Do you ever go for a walk in the evening? Yes, sometimes I go for a short walk near my home. Do you use your phone at night? Yes, I check messages before sleeping, but I try not to spend too much time on my phone. Great practice. Repeat this dialogue with me slowly and then try giving your own answers to make it natural and personal. Another important part of daily routine is preparing for bed. I might say, I brush my teeth and wash my face before going to bed, or I prepare my clothes for the next day, or I set my alarm clock before sleeping. Repeat slowly with me. I brush my teeth and wash my face before going to bed. I prepare my clothes for the next day. I set my alarm clock before sleeping. Very good. These are very natural and useful expressions for ending your daily routine in English. Now let's add a reflective element to the routine. I can say, I think about my day before sleeping, or I write about my day in my journal, or I make a plan for tomorrow before I go to bed. Repeat slowly with me. I think about my day before sleeping. I write about my day in my journal. I make a plan for tomorrow before I go to bed. Excellent. Adding these reflections makes your daily routine richer and more personal. Let's do another speaking exercise. I will give you the start of a sentence and you finish it with your own words. Ready? Before going to bed, I complete it with your own action, for example. Before going to bed, I brush my teeth, or before going to bed, I read a book. Another one. At night, You might say, at night, I usually watch television, or at night, I usually listen to music. Excellent. This exercise is simple, but it makes your brain practice creating sentences quickly in English. Now let's combine everything into a long story of one day, including morning, afternoon, evening, and even weekends. Listen carefully and shadow along with me. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning on weekdays. I brush my teeth, wash my face, and eat breakfast at home. After that, I go to work by bus and listen to music on the way. I start working at 9, check my emails, and attend meetings during the morning. At 1 o'clock, I have lunch with my colleagues. In the afternoon, I continue working on my computer and sometimes take a short break. I finish work at 5 and go home by bus. In the evening, I eat dinner with my family at 7, watch television, or spend time reading. Before going to bed, I brush my teeth, set my alarm, and prepare for the next day. Finally, I go to bed at 10:30 at night. On weekends, my routine is different. I wake up later, sometimes at 9. I go shopping, spend time with my family, and sometimes play football with my friends. I also enjoy watching movies on Friday nights and relaxing at home on Sundays. Excellent. Repeat this whole story slowly and clearly to practice fluency. Now let's practice with extended Q&A. I'll ask, and you answer. Ready? What time do you usually wake up on weekdays? Good. What do you do first after waking up? Excellent. What do you usually eat for breakfast? Nice. How do you go to work or school? Great. What do you usually do in the afternoon? Perfect. What time do you have dinner? Wonderful. Do you read books or watch television in the evening? Excellent. What do you do before going to bed? Very good. Practicing these questions daily will help you speak naturally in conversations with others. Finally, let's add some more advanced variations to sound fluent and expressive. You can say, I start my day by stretching and drinking a glass of water, or I usually spend my afternoons working on projects, but sometimes I take a nap when I feel tired, or evenings are my favorite part of the day because I can relax with my family, or I always prepare for the next day before going to bed so I feel organized and calm. Repeat slowly with me. I start my day by stretching and drinking a glass of water. I usually spend my afternoons working on projects, but sometimes I take a nap when I feel tired. Evenings are my favorite part of the day because I can relax with my family. I always prepare for the next day before going to bed so I feel organized and calm. Wonderful practice. Now let's wrap up with one final long practice paragraph. Listen carefully and repeat as much as you can. Every day has its rhythm and my daily routine helps me stay balanced. I wake up early, take care of myself, eat breakfast, and go to work. I focus on my tasks in the morning and enjoy my lunch in the afternoon. I continue working until evening, then return home to relax and spend time with my family. I eat dinner, watch television, or read a book before preparing for bed. On weekends, I enjoy more freedom. I wake up later, spend time shopping, playing football, or meeting friends. Each part of my daily routine is simple, but when I describe it in English, it becomes a powerful way to practice and improve my fluency. Excellent practice. Keep repeating and shadowing until these sentences feel completely natural to you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. By describing daily routines in English, you not only learn useful vocabulary, but you also train your brain to think in English step by step. Remember to repeat these sentences, answer the questions, and practice the role plays often. The more you practice, the more confident and fluent you will become. I hope this long session has helped you. If you enjoyed practicing with me, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to TalkMate English, and press the bell icon so you don't miss any new lessons. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye for now.